Portland, Oregon, retiring Santa Clara coach Dick Davey is hoping that's not the last pregame speech he gives in a locker room. His Broncos want to go dancing, and they want his farewell tour to keep on rolling. It's Championship Week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, and tonight it's the West Coast Conference title game between Santa Clara and Gonzaga. The winner gets an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Nobody here is surprised by the matchup. These two schools finished the conference season ranked 1 and 2, both expected to meet tonight. They split their two meetings this winter. Welcome to Portland, everybody. Great to have you along. I'm Dave O'Brien, my partner, Coach Rick Majerus. Rick, it's about tempo, and more tempo. How important is that word in determining who wins tonight?
Well, it's the pace car versus the race car. And the pace car can win if Santa Clara can apply the brakes to Gonzaga's fast break.
Let's get right to Star Wars now, presented by American Century. A lot of Gonzaga's tempo dictated by Jeremy Pargo, but a thigh contusion is hampering him tonight. Big John Bryant, a force for Santa Clara.
Bryant, the double-wide space eater, has to put it down with his feathery soft touch. Jeremy Pargo is at the controls when the Zags break. Gets to the rack in the half court and must create havoc defensively with ball pressure.
Let's get to the lineups now. Zaga's Derek Raivio, a Co-West Conference Player of the Year. He averages 18 points per game. Now, Santa Clara's Sean Dennison, a 6'11 senior, shared that honor with Raivio. Scott Doherty could be the X factor tonight, though. He burned Gonzaga for 23 when the Broncos won at Spokane this season. The good sign for Gonzaga is Pargo is on the court. He has a pretty serious thigh contusion on that left thigh, suffered last night. He took a knee. It's all taped up. In fact, he's wearing a football wrap on it, but he is ready to go for the Bulldogs.
When your older brother plays in the NBA, you've gotten a lot of thigh bruises over the years. Pargo, I think, is going to be fine.
Mark Few told us right before the game, he said he thoroughly expects him to play a lot. He said he's one of our toughest kids. Santa Clara opens up with the ball, and it's up high to Dennison, the 6'11 senior. Inside to Bryant, trying for the quick strike, but he couldn't get the layup to go in.
Well-executed play, and they added a new wrinkle in the interim period between their end of the season, regular season, this conference tournament.
Boy, Kuso also got an excellent look. Here's Bolin, the freshman, misfiring with the fadeaway. Mallon keeps it alive, but Dennison tears it right out of his hands. We expect a pretty physical tussle here underneath the basket tonight.
All the Zags have collectively picked up a gang rebound mentality with Heifeld's absence.
Doherty handing off to the point guard, Ang Lee. We saw him with some terrific plays down the stretch last night against St. Mary's. Again, Bryant can't connect. Nice save by Kuso. Gonzaga in the whites. Santa Clara beat them during the regular season, though, in Spokane, ending the 50-game home court winning streak for Gonzaga. That was the longest in the nation.
They're going to take Kuso outside and use him as a picker, so it brings the big boy away from the rim.
Pretty smooth-looking jump shot there by the sophomore Jeremy Pargo. Looks like that leg might be all right, at least at the outset.
Defense tells the tale. It always seems okay when you're shooting a shot.
The scramble between Ang Lee and Raivio there as we give you a look at Rick Majerus' musts for Santa Clara if they're going to win.
Well, they've got to drive the speed limit and can't get out of control. They're going to have to find the Zags four-man, the power forward, out on the three-point line, and then they're going to have to go inside, and inside some more on offense and get that ball into Bryant and Dennison.
Raivio with the first personal foul of this one. Here's Doherty. Got it. Scott Doherty had 23 and was perfect 4 for 4 from three-point land when Santa Clara beat Gonzaga earlier this winter. So watch for him to really be a factor tonight.
Mallon's the four-man that's hanging out on that three-point line to try to bring Dennison outside.
Pargo to Bolden, a terrific freshman passer. In fact, he does so many things well. Last night he had 7 assists in the semifinal win. Pargo stops his little shot clock at 6. Pargo took a look at it, working on Ang Lee, a little leaner, and can't get it to go. Kuso out fighting everybody for the rebound. He misses.
You got to put a body on Kuso. He's a leaper for his rebounds.
Kuso, the 6'9 junior from Nigeria. Ang Lee That's his favorite shot, that little teardrop. There's Bryant to finish it.
And with his left hand.
Bryant, 6'10", a sophomore, and a wide body. And a top rebounder at 7 per game. Santa Clara is big. They can go 6'10", 6'11", 7 feet. Here's Rivio. Got it, a three.
When that 1, 2, or 3 man, the small forward and the 2 guards, pick for each other, Santa Clara might want to consider switching that.
Lee on the drive, got around Mallon. Pargo picked him up. Dennison on a double team, tried to flip it over his shoulder. Not a good idea. Pargo has it knocked away from behind, and here comes Santa Clara.
And it was knocked away by the 6'11", 220-pound power forward, Dennison.
Boy, tough catch by Doherty. And Pariseau with the save. Pariseau kind of a Pete Maravich look-alike. Got the floppy hair, and he has a similar game at times.
And a swagger to him like Maravich.
Yeah.
Had a confidence, not a false confidence either.
Lee Dennison will try and finish it up, and he does. His first bucket. And Santa Clara takes the lead.
When you watch Dennison 15 and 54 Bryant, you're going to see 2 bigs that are equally adept with either hand around the rim.
Rivio fouled, 15:59 to play here in the first half. Dennison able to be the man on the spot here in the early minutes to give Santa Clara the 1-point lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And in part by the new 2007 Hyundai Sonata with America's best warranty.
Pretty intense tempo. Well, it is championship week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. The WCC championship game, Santa Clara with the 1-point lead on Gonzaga. Now, to the Zags and what they have to do in the eyes of Coach Majerus to pull off a win tonight.
NASCAR tempo is the imperative. Keep the power forward, the 4-man outside spaced on the 3-point line, so you draw Dennison out away from the basket and keep the ball out of the post. The best post defense is to keep the ball out of the post.
And, of course, there is that emotional element for Santa Clara. They don't want this to be the last coaching performance of their beloved head coach, Dick Davey. After 15 years, he is retiring, many believe forced out by the Santa Clara administration, not necessarily the athletic department, as Rivio is at the line. 30 years inside the program, and this year, the WCC Coach of the Year. He ended Mark Few's 6-year run, the man he's trying to beat tonight. We talked to Fewy before the game, and he said, I voted for him. I think everybody did. He deserved it. Look at the job he did under those circumstances.
Now, this press is more of a bother, but it's also to get Santa Clara out of the rhythm of its patterns.
Pariseau waiting for some help, and here's Lee. Santa Clara during the season with 20 wins. Picked up another W last night against St. Mary's, so they're 21-9. Gonzaga 22-10. There's Doherty, got it, the 3, and is he going to be off again like he was the last time he faced them?
He moves so well without the ball and changes his speed, but the best thing he does is his shot preparation, Dave. His lower body's ready.
Bolden bullying his way in, a 2-time Colorado High School Player of the Year. You can see why with his array of skills. And particularly his vision. Pariseau pulls up and pops, and he knocks it down.
And Bolden's body. That's a linebacker body if ever there was one. He has great strength, upper body as well as low. Not many guys have the calf development of that kid in their freshman year in college.
The Broncos by 2. About 5 minutes in here at the Chiles Center in Portland. Pargo is left open. That's a little too strong, but Pendergraft will feed Bolden. And a new shot clock here for Zaga. Rivio driving right on Pariseau. Couldn't get a shot. Pendergraft very dangerous there, and with a miss. He didn't miss many of those last night.
He has confidence, and he's green-lighted. Now look at, here's the pace we're talking about. Slow it down, change the floor. You know, wait for a mistake. Create opportunities. They're trying to distort the help to the post here. They're trying to keep those other 3 guys away from Dennison and Bryant when they post up.
Oh, great pass by Dennison right into the hands of Bryant, and he's fouled. as he zipped a very strong pass down low.
Dennison's a particularly gifted passer. Look at him there. He has good vision. Throws that with his left hand. Now he's a right-hander who prefers to drive left from the perimeter, and he's ambidextrous almost in terms of his passing, tip back, and rebounding skills.
Bryant had 14 and 6 rebounds last night against St. Mary's in the semifinal win. Mallon coming back on as Cuso just picked up the foul. Will head to the bench.
Now when they bring in a fresh body at the 4 or 5 spot, and he's a 4, Mallon, they can run Bryant and Dennison. They're trying to run him into the ground.
Tipped out to Rivio. You know, Gonzaga wants to really push it at every opportunity.
They push it even faster after a make than a miss.
We have found that out this season. Is Rivio three-pointer that won't go.
Now Santa Clara's got a sneaky break. They'll run on you if you're not alert.
Langley losing his dribble and the ball. Pendergraft slips in for 2. And so Gonzaga makes Santa Clara pay for the paint turnover.
The classic guard turnover mistake. You dribble into a crowd instead of draw a crowd.
Micah Downs getting ready to come onto the floor for Gonzaga. The Kansas transfer at a big night last night. Here's Doherty again, and he is on fire early. Another 3 for him. That's the second one he's hit. He's made all 3 of his shots. Bolden had to alter his shot in the lane. Santa Clara by 4.
Somebody on the Bulldogs has got to make them bounce it, and they do right there.
Bolden harassing him from behind. Knocked it away from Doherty. And now Parasos does it right back from Pargo. Pargo's going to dog him and foul him.
Now that's a frustration foul. 75 feet away from the basket. Paraso got the steal, and Pargo's going to go right back at him, being the competitor he is, but needed to keep his emotions in check there.
Paraso grew up in Spokane. As a kid, he frequented the kennel all through his childhood. Looked like for a long time he was going to go to Gonzaga, but they wanted him to walk on and spend a season as a redshirt. Eastern Washington offered him a scholarship and immediate playing time. Later, he would transfer to Santa Clara.
I can see where his body would lend credence to that theory. You know, he still isn't very strong. He's a fifth-year senior. He's got a big heart, though.
But he grew up loving Gonzaga on the fake, bodying up on Bolden.
Look at how strong he was there, knocking Bolden off his defensive line.
Boy, Henke had a wide-open look but missed it, but tapped out by Gonzaga, and so Santa Clara will have possession here with 12:34 to go in the half.
Henke last night scored 11 points. He's pretty much a ball mover, ball changer, screener, rebounder, dirty work guy, but he emerged last night as a scorer.
Yeah, had a big first half in a win over St. Mary's. Santa Clara, a good road team. 8-5 during the regular season and the win last night combined.
Zag zoning up on the end out of bounds. Part of the reason for that, too, is exploratory. They see what you've got as a zone attack, and they can do it on the end outs.
Paraso looking for someone to make a move here. 10 to shoot. Kempf into the game. Feeding Henke on the baseline with a spin. Paraso fake the 3. Now the 2. Much too strong. That with 1 second on the shot clock. And Rivio forced to pull it out now for Gonzaga. Bolden gives off to Mallon.
Dennis has got especially quick feet. He moves laterally very, very well. He's covering Mallon. They're in their 4-man motion now with pick and pop.
Rivio had to change his shot. Pendergraft. Yes. He did that all night last night with 21.
And they've got to solve that dilemma of what technique they're going to use to play that pick. They can't switch because it'll create a mismatch. They need to double it or help out a little bit on it. They've got to get back to the pop guy.
Dennison tied up and fouled on the play by Bolden. 11-12 remaining in the first half.
Take a look at Doherty here, moving without the ball, spots up, and knocks his 3 down confidently. Now we're seeing Pendergraft on the pick and pop. Adequate separation. Nice shot preparation by Pendergraft. He scored.
Blue Raiders. West Coast Conference title game, an automatic NCAA tournament bid to the winner, Santa Clara by 1.
We're going to see the toughest dilemma right now that Santa Clara is going to face. Pendergraft sets a pick. Ravio drives off of it. Now he sets a pick, Pendergraft. He likes contact. You see the pick right there. Now he separates. He spaces. They space, separate, and Pendergraft shoots. He has excellent shot preparation, and Ravio dragged the big with him, so he couldn't turn the corner. How they play that, they aren't able to switch it, Dave, and they're too slow to run a rotation to it. They're going to have to hard show that and then get back to the pop guy, because that's Mellon's shot, that's for sure Mike Downs' shot, and we know it's Pendergraft's shot. He made 4 of those last night.
Kemp will launch his 3. He got it off the second effort. And so Santa Clara opens up a 5-point lead. Now the Broncos, they have to win in all likelihood to go to the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely.
That's a lock. For Gonzaga, maybe a different story. Maybe they don't have to win. Maybe last night's win got them in. Nice move on the reverse by Pendergraft. He can do it outside and inside.
And Dave, one big point here. Right now, the game is at 1 point a minute pace. If it goes up to 1.5 points per minute, that's going to spell the demise of Santa Clara. So they've got the tempo at their good execution of the flex offense founded by Dick Davies' former boss, Carol Williams. Santa Clara runs that Gonzaga runs that flex offense.
The Broncos lose it. Ravio tied up. Great job there by Parasol. Although he thought he had a clean block, they called a foul on him just to get back defensively. An outstanding job. Championship week on ESPN continues Wednesday. 2 first-round Big East championship games from the Garden. Villanova and DePaul. And then at 2 Eastern, it's UConn against Syracuse. Big question about the Orange. Are they in right now as far as the NCAA tournament? Or do they have to have another W? Ravio, the best foul shooter in America. With Bryant coming back, Dennison heading to the bench for the Broncos. See what he did against San Diego in the semifinal victory last night. Perfect at the line. He had a string of 56 consecutive foul shots this season. He has 7 points tonight.
I like Ravio's moxie. He had a bad shooting year last year, went to the gym this summer and came back.
Turned over. It was Ravio coming over to defend. He was all over Parasol there to force the turnover. And Dick Davey none too pleased.
When you get doubled, you can't put your head down and try to beat it. You want to back dribble it, draw 2 to you, and now we've got him 4 and 3 somewhere else.
Kuso back in. He has it high.
They're grinding out that flex offense. Baseline cutter, down screen.
Downs with a dribble down, backed right into his man and tied up because he put it to the deck there.
And how about Brian stepping up and chesting that cut? I love that. Brian he goes to penetration with his body. He's a standstill shot blocker, but he attacks penetration well with his body.
Ravio up top to Downs, an NBA 3 off the front of the rim. Gonzaga trying to go back to the NCAA tournament for the 9th consecutive season. They may have achieved that goal last night. They want to make sure with the automatic bid. Kemp, yes, nothing but net for Joey Kemp, the senior from Portland. This is his hometown.
He is on fire, and that's his game. Spot up and shoot.
Pargo up top to Ravio. Kuso setting the screen for the guard, who can't knock down the shot, but a foul underneath will go against Kuso. But Kemp with a sweet shooting stroke.
Mike Downs has got to do a lot better job with his length of getting up closer. See, he's tapped him too far. Kemp is not going to drive. You can't keep a 2-man cushion on a non-driver.
Santa Clara 3-point shots, 4 out of 5 tonight. Much better than their season average.
Now he back dribbles. See that, Dave? He back dribble, changes it. That all of a sudden that little trap becomes no problem.
Doherty bounces out. It's Kemp again. Yes, sir!
He's on fire. He's on fire.
And as mentioned, he was born and raised right here. Mallon off to Ravio, 25-18. And Santa Clara shooting the lights out from downtown. Ravio getting the Gonzaga fans involved here.
And again, how does he get free? Pick and pop. 9 out of 10 are going to be for Ravio.
Parasol. Here's Kemp again. Why not, he says, but off to the right side of the rim.
He was open, too. You got to go over the top of the handoff on the shooter.
Downs jumping into the paint. Bryant swatted it away, but committed the foul in the process. One thing you gotta love about John Bryant, though, he's always playing with a smile on his face. 25-20. Time now for a SportsCenter 30 at 30 update.
All right, guys, we'll start first in the NBA, where Dwayne Wade is going to try rehab for a couple of weeks to try to avoid surgery. He'll be evaluated again in 2 to 3 weeks to see the rehab will work and he can return to the Heat this season. Tyler Hansbrough, who suffered a broken nose in the game against Duke yesterday, is expected to play in the ACC tournament. Going to be fitted with a mask just for him. SportsCenter after the game, ESPN News Open.
Micah Downs at the line here for Gonzaga to make it 25-21. Santa Clara in the lead.
Everyone has a bench, and a lot of guys don't use it. Both these coaches have done a nice job of cultivating their bench and going 9 deep. Not necessarily in a rotation.
Here's Henke, left open. He knocks down a two-pointer. Pendergraft pulling into his man, and he commits the offensive foul as Henke took the brunt of that one.
Here, Pendergraft isn't open. He's much quicker, Henke. He just lowers his shoulder and tries to bull guard him. You got to learn to back dribble, pull it out, and get it under control and restart again. Nice move by Henke.
The Broncos want to go dancing. They have a 27-21 lead over Gonzaga. Rick, let's go inside the play here.
Here's the flex offense. Right here, you're going to see it. They get into it. They hit. Now, as the ball gets right there, freeze it. We're going to stop here. They're going to fill this spot. This man's going to come up here, and that man's going to go there. Run it. Now stop. Now the ball's passed elbow to elbow. You see the ball coming right here. There'll be a cutter here, either over or under. He'll space out, run it. And now there's a down screen right here, and it's a continuity pattern. And then they had another baseline cutter, and you can see the resultant layup. There were a four-sided attack, elbow-to-elbow passes with baseline cuts. Wisconsin runs it, calls it the swing, and ironically, the father of the flex was the man Dick Davies sat next to for 15 years, Carroll Williams, the former Santa Clara head coach.
And of course now Dick Davey, who took over and has coached the team for the last 15 years, is on his way out into retirement.
Nice move by Mark Few here. He told us he was going to do this, Dave. He said, I'm going to junk it up a little bit. He's showing a little bit of a 1-2-2 zone.
But Henke spoils it all with a long, long three. Boy, both sides shooting the three-pointer awfully well in this championship game. The winner to get the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Bolden with a high dribble, almost gave it up. Downs off the ball fake. The leaner left it short, followed. There's Bryant with the rejection.
It's like going up against a sequoia tree.
Pargo. He is quick on quick, but denied on the baseline and almost threw it away. Little kick there off of Santa Clara. 25 seconds on the shot clock here for Gonzaga. Inside 7 minutes to play in the half. The Broncos of Santa Clara looking awfully sharp in the first half. Rivio way outside. He has 9 so far. His one-on-one move, nothing but net. Boy, a sweet shot by Derek Rivio.
And the way he set it up with the dribble. He has that little shake dribble that backs you up, and then he rises up.
Bryant's tangled up with Downs, and Downs can't believe he is charged with the foul. As you see the three-point shooting for Santa Clara, Gonzaga leading points in the paint. And Mark Few in his 8th year, having played an absolutely brutal schedule, one of the most difficult in America. He was actually complaining about a traveling violation he thought should have been called there. That was Mark's point.
I don't agree with that. And how about the catch, though, by John Bryant? That ball was thrown at bullet speed, and he had a body pushing up and out against him. They're trying not to let him get to his sweet spot. These guys got phenomenal hands. They're like lobster claws.
And size 18 feet. Those are fishing boats.
Yeah.
31-23 Santa
fishing net
Clara.
on his head.
Well, you said that.
Well, maybe I'm jealous.
This is certainly the all-hair league, though, isn't it? There's Mallon. Sweet jump shot from the corner to make it 31-25.
And smartly goes outside where he puts the 7-foot, 312-pound Hulk, John Bryant, at a disadvantage.
Ang Lee was a terrific high school football player in Redding, California. Scored 74 touchdowns as a running back. Now running the offense here for the Broncos. There's Bryant, and they will get hit for the offensive foul this time.
And he invited the call by forearming the guy. If he had just lowered his shoulder and kept his arm, you're going to see him. Now watch his forearm come into play. See that forearm right there? That's when he invites the referee. It's like saying, hey, watch me. He had him beat with his feet. He's got incredibly quick feet. He's got soccer feet.
Well, those soccer feet will take him to the bench with his second personal. Dennison back on the court now for the Broncos. They don't lose anything size-wise. In fact, they gain an inch in height. He is 6'11".
You're our best soccer announcer. There's a lot of guys with size 18 playing soccer.
No, there aren't. Mallon outside.
Now they're grinding that flex offense again.
Downs, yes, a three.
And it comes off the down screen.
It has been a very good night to be outside in Portland, outside that arc. Santa Clara 6 out of 8. And Gonzaga 3 out of 7. That'll be a traveling violation on the Broncos. And the Zaga fans are loving it. They are down 3.
Santa Clara has to maintain its composure here. They've done a good job in negating the Zags fast break. I think Mark Few is saving the pick and pot more for the second half, and right now they're just grinding this flex offense.
Downs catches, fires, badly off the mark. He wanted a foul on Parham. He thought he got hit at least after the shot. No whistle there.
Downs kind of has that leg kick like Colin Falls has and invites that call. It's sort of a phony call.
Parham on Downs. That's a charge.
And you'll see him raise his forearm again. Take a look at the forearm. Once you go to the forearm shiver here and you drive, now watch his right forearm, see? You gotta get lower and you gotta get your head and shoulder in front of your toe. You gotta body in with your shoulder, Dave, not your forearm.
Well, it's certainly championship caliber defense for Dick Davey, Santa Clara, and for Mark Few and Gonzaga. Bolden with the shot. Got it. Another three. Boy, it's raining threes in Portland.
And they've got at least 6,000, 5,000 strong here come down for the Zags. So it's a home game for them.
Open Dennison altered that shot. Got it to go over Downs. Sean Dennison, the senior, out of Nelson, British Columbia.
Brody English should have been a quarterback instead of a running back. He is a wonderful passer.
Pargo. Zip to Downs. Mallon came in crashing hard for the rebound, but it comes to Santa Clara. And the Broncos up by 2. A very entertaining first half. Here's Ang Lee. Got a lot of rim, and it bounced away. Here come the Zags to rumble. Pargo pulls up. Got it.
What a tough shot in transition. Going breakneck pace, gathered himself. You very seldom see a middle game in transition. Well done by Pargo.
And that jumper has tied it at 33.
How about Mellon just grabbed the jersey of Dennison and got away with it when he slipped that pick and roll.
Ang Lee. Man, what an effort to lay it, but they're going to wave it off. No basket. Ang Lee charged with the foul, an offensive foul.
Wonderful job by Gonzaga here. The Zags just put their chest out. Ang Lee turns the corner. There he is right there. Going to be a rec league staple with really big-time smarts. You got to applaud Sean Mellon for an astute move and gets him in trouble and negates the basket.
So you wonder if Gonzaga is one of those teams on the bubble. It's championship week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. This is everything a championship game ought to be. We're tied at 33. Coach Majerus, let's flex a little bit here as we go inside the play.
Well, you're looking at the flex to spot or the swing offense right here, and basically stop it right there. It goes from elbow to elbow. There's going to be a baseline cutter and a down screen. Now watch it evolve. Baseline cutter, down screen, elbow to elbow, Micah Downs. Nice pick by Bolden. Boom, jump shot.
And back to Majerus' musts and Gonzaga's keys to victory. How are they doing so far?
Well, they aren't controlling the tempo the way they'd like, but they're bringing that four-man out on the line, and they are doing a relatively good job of keeping the ball out of the post.
Did you have one of those telestrators when you coached, by the way, in Utah?
Yeah, we did. I loved it.
I can tell.
It was fun.
Bolden out high. Under 3 minutes to play now in the first half. Downs maybe forced it a bit. He hit the deck again.
Same exact flex offense again right there with Downs getting that. He likes that right elbow. That's his shot. Good job by Fuel of getting his best shooter, perhaps the best shot.
A rare whistle away from the basketball underneath the hoop here with 2:45 to go in the half. It's championship week. Women's college basketball on ESPN2 on Tuesday night at 7 Eastern. The Women's Big East Championship. That'll be either Rutgers or Marquette against number 3 UConn. ESPN, by the way, the exclusive home of the Women's NCAA Championship. I don't know if you saw the other day, but Duke finally lost. The Duke women, their chance at a perfect season is over.
And if you're wondering where Bryant and Kuso are not in the game right now, they've each got 2 fouls. We want to update you on that. Wisely, both these guys have decided to wait until the second half. I always do that as well.
Bolden with the personal. And Doherty continues to score. Pargo and Kuso, a big part of the Gonzaga offense. They are 5 for their last 8 and on a 10-4 scoring run.
Now look at them. They're really trying to look at denying Micah Downs. They got Hinkie on him.
Downs, nice move, high glass, tipped on his own miss. Nicely done by Micah Downs.
An excellent offensive player. He's got the whole package. Challenged somewhat as a rebounder because of his strength and really has to shore up his defense.
Cody Angley threading his way in. Would not fall for him, but a foul by Dennison of Santa Clara. Let's go back. Last trip down the court for Micah Downs.
Now they're trying to make Downs dribble to a shot, and he's accommodating them. He splits that little seam there, lays the ball up high, but how about he follows it right back up with that tip? But you'll notice there was no bodies around. Once he gets in a toaster and there's bodies compressing him, he doesn't play as well.
Number 2 on Dennison. Certainly fouled the wrong guy. Rivio at 95.5% at the foul line. Says he would like to play professionally. That's his goal. His dad did play at the University of Portland and later for the LA Lakers. A real confidant for Derek. Pendergraft is actually going to be the man at the line. Rivio had gone to the line to try and steal a couple. And it's Pendergraft instead.
Pretty good move. You got to watch those Catholic schools in the line like that.
And you see why Rivio wanted to try and steal a couple. Tied at 35. Here's Parasol. Rivio guarding him. Into the paint, scoops it up. That was a Maravich kind of shot.
Yeah, that was a hope shot too.
Yeah, Downs with the save.
Team Priest couldn't will that one in.
Downs through, nicely done again. Boy, he does have a wide range of scoring skills.
A variety of spots and moves.
Gonzaga on a 12-5 run, up by 2. Parasol trying to change that. Got an excellent look at the basket. Downs will lose it out of bounds. It's back over to Santa Clara.
Watch Downs. He's running the floor in transition, catches it on the move, and takes it to the rim. The Kansas transfer played a half a year there under Bill Self.
Didn't see action for Gonzaga, and this is first season for the Bulldogs until the middle of January. So they're still trying to figure out all the different ways they can use him. 6 ties, 6 lead changes. Certainly a championship kind of a game in the West Coast Conference title matchup.
There you see the lack of strength by Parasol right there. He had to pull out of that shot because they slid with his body.
Less than a minute to go before halftime. An automatic bid to the NCAA tournament on the line here tonight in Portland. Downs, he wants to take over this game offensively. Missing from close in. Here's Parasol, 40 seconds to go in the half. On the baseline, Henke, stripped, taken right away by Raivio. Terrific steal. Raivio will not wait. Got it!
Tough shot, well defended, and really well executed. He's very good going right to left.
He has 14. Timeout for Dick Davey in Santa Clara. Raivio did it all there. The strip and the three.
Gets back in transition, anticipates, rakes the ball out. Now watch this. Pushes it hard, rhythms up, pointing to his left, and finishes off with a three.
On this conference, Mark Few and Gonzaga used to winning, and they're on top of Santa Clara. Championship week on ESPN continues Wednesday. 2 first-round Big East championship games from Madison Square Garden. Villanova to Paul. That's at noon, and then at 2 Eastern, UConn and Syracuse. Do you think the Orange are in?
Yes, I do. I think they are in.
Well, one of these two teams. Maybe both of them going to the NCAA tournament. One for sure later tonight with the automatic berth. Parasol with 8 seconds left before the half. 2 seconds. Angley not there for him, and that's the half. And it's Gonzaga on a run led by Derek Raivio. He had 14 points and a big three at the end, taking a 40-35 lead at the break. Time for us to go to the studio. Reese Davis and Doug Gottlieb, the ESPN studio, the Cisco halftime report. Gentlemen. The fans in Portland getting ready for the second half. It's championship week presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Rick Majerus, Dave O'Brien with you from the Chiles Center. Gonzaga has the 5-point lead over Santa Clara. Rick Majerus, the starting backcourt of Angley and Parasol for Santa Clara, a combined 1 for 10 shooting in the first half. What do you make of that?
Well, bad shooting, but what I make worse of it is we're not getting enough feeds inside to the big guys, Dennison and Bryant. When you got those two double wides in there, you got to give them the ball. Now take a look at these 3-pointers here. That's Doherty right there, and Doherty again, and they definitely are open for him. Here Camp knocks one down. Gonzaga pays him back, but Downs coming off the down screen on the flex cut. Bolden in transition from the corner on the push. And then here's Raivio, and he dribbled the length of the court there and came to that signature right-to-left crossover off of transition.
So both teams shot the three well. Our Guinness first half stats. Santa Clara 6 out of 11. Gonzaga 5 for 12. Derek Raivio 14 points to lead all scorers on 4 out of 6 shooting. So the Zaga star on fire last night. He had 14 the entire night on 3 out of 9. Santa Clara opens up the second half with the basketball here and down by 5. They have 20 minutes to play their way into the NCAA tournament and earn that automatic bid. There's Dennison to get them started the right way.
And that's what Dick Davey told him to do. That's why he was there for 30 years. Get the ball inside to our 2 double wides.
And for Davey, the last 15 as head coach. He is retiring whenever it ends for the Broncos head coach. Mallon outside, starting to move into the paint. The jump hook, touch nothing. Bryant out finding Kuso for the rebound. You have to wonder about Dick Davey. When he came onto the court for the second half, was he thinking, I may have 20 minutes of coaching. That may be it in my career?
No, I can tell you he was not thinking that. He's engrossed in the game. He feels he can win this one. He told him, let's not end it tonight. We've got some more in us. We saw that speech in the locker room prior to the game.
Parasol.
Inside again. First 2 possessions.
Dennison went to the left hand and missed it. Trying to scoop up the rebound in. Mallon fighting for it. The possession arrow, though, will go the opposite direction. And it will be Gonzaga ball here as you look at Dick Davey's reaction.
He thought they were fouled. He thought that they raked in with their hands. When you slap down, you know, there's usually going to be a foul. They raked up.
Kuso to Mallon. Here's Rivio. Yes! He stays hot.
See, Cuso set that pick, and Bryant's sitting back in that paint, and he's not there to help when Rivio came off that screen. Cuso and Bryant, by the way, each sat most of the first half with foul trouble.
Bryant's hook will roll out. Bolden with the rebound. Starting that break. Nearly threw it away, but Pargo quick enough to get to it. Bolden backing down on Doherty. Quick step.
So strong, so smart. Bates middle, induces contact, spins off the baseline. There's a lot of post players that don't do it that effectively.
Brody Angley way outside. Carousel off the fake, and Bolden bumped him and fouled him. The last time down, a quick feed of the freshman.
Now watch him post up. He's going to bait middle, gets the contact here. All of a sudden he feels him, spins off. There's where Bryant has to come across and be available to block that shot at 7 feet, or at least change the trajectory.
Bolden will have to sit for a while, though. Number 3 on the first-year man from Highlands Ranch, Colorado.
Parasol drove his closeout. Parasol's a smart guard himself.
Santa Clara trying to cut into this lead and keep the farewell tour for Dick Davey going. It has become a cause celeb, not for him, but for supporters of the program. The long bomb off the back iron by Doherty, but the long rebound comes out to Parasol. Of course, with a record of 21-9, the NIT, that could be where they wind up going in the end. But they want to go to the NCAA tournament, and nothing is assured for the Broncos either way. Here's Doherty with another miss. Here's Pargo. Pargo asking for some help. Got it off to Downs. He'll fire it up there, and it's going to miss. Barely glancing iron.
There's not a bad shot in the program for Downs.
Doherty fouled in the act of shooting there. It was Downs who got him on the elbow. Championship week on ESPN continues Wednesday. 2 first-round Big East championship games from Madison Square Garden. Villanova against DePaul. And then at 2 o'clock, it'll be UConn against Syracuse. You played some games inside the Garden. Was that among the best experiences of your coaching career?
Oh, yeah, they say that Big East tournament. I always wanted to go there. I was coaching myself and haven't been assigned there as a broadcaster, but they say that that's a great tournament because of the environment in New York. And you only got to remember, they're taking 12 teams there. As a Syracuse alum, you've got the orange there, but I concur with you on that one right now. Unless they lose in the first round and some funky things happen, unexpected wins of teams in conference tournaments.
Pendergraft up top to Downs here. 44-38 Gonzaga. Pendergraft very dangerous outside that 3 at 22 points last night. Downs will keep it alive though.
Downs is really long. He's not only tall, he's long. He's got long arms. There you see his wingspan.
And very active on the offensive end in particular. Rivio cuts, shoots. Yes. What a sweet touch.
He moves so well without the ball. He just continues to keep moving.
Can he play in the NBA?
I don't know that. I would say it would be difficult.
Cuso with a pro-style rejection, but it's going to be out of play.
But he falls in the footsteps of Stockton, who they wondered if he could. Look at this block right here. He gets up so quick, Cuso, and keeps it in play. He jumped off of 2 feet there. But a lot of guys need to take a step to jump. Cuso can go right up off both feet.
Parasol will launch it up there. Bryant going into the corner for the rebound, but it's going to be off of him. And we have a timeout. On the topic of Dick Davey, the Broncos head coach, is this his final hurrah? More when we come back. Possibility it could be the last 15 minutes, 49 seconds as a head coach for the Dean of the West Coast Conference, Dick Davey. The 2007 West Coast Conference Coach of the Year, ending Mark Few's record of 6 in a row. Mark Few said, I definitely voted for him. He is being forced into retirement from all reports. His wife, Jeannie, who had the camera going big time last night in the semifinal, taking a lot of photographs. You know, you have the excitement, the intensity, the thrill of a championship game. But Rick, for both Dick Davey and for Jeannie, it's tinged with sadness because this might be the swan song. It could be.
But the young guys who played for Dick Davey, those memories and the lessons learned that transcend sport, they're going to last a lifetime. He's a gentleman. He's an educator. At university, places a premium on the student athlete, and he has done that to a T in terms of compliant with the mission of the university.
And our thanks to Coach Davey for allowing us inside his locker room for the pregame chat. Rabiot off balance. Boy, everything's falling for him.
That is such a tough shot.
He has 20 to lead all scorers.
It's interesting to watch Rabiot when he moves to his right. If he doesn't dribble, he's best moving to his right shooting. Off the dribble, he's best moving to his left. I was talking about before the break, no one thought Stockton could play either. You don't know what's in a guy's heart. Stockton has the two records that'll never be broken, the assist and the steal record in the NBA.
There's Doherty. It's 47% from three in conference play.
A former walk-on. That shows you the disparity in the talent level of these two teams. As I said last night, the Zags have top-tier, top-3 Pac-10 talent. And he does a great job recruiting the team.
Downs slanting in, blocked by Bryant. Tried to save it. What a play!
Unbelievable. The block, make the save. You want to do things in multiples of 2s and 3s if you're a player, particularly defensively.
You're talking about a guy 6'10", who moves awfully well. Doherty outside. He wants to be a dentist when his basketball days are done. He's a senior. Bryant, baseline, working on Kuso. Downs came over, but it didn't matter despite the double team.
He's so strong, and he's got a feathery touch. He's got that velvet glove on top of those lobster mitts.
48-43. Gonzaga by 5. Can anybody slow down Rabiot, though? He has 20. He has made 7 of 9, and he is on fire for Gonzaga. Fargo, a little ball by Parasol to get Parasol for the foul.
No, all you want is the consistency of the calls here. Twice when the forearm has been moved forward, but now you see Bryant with the block, and he saves it and gets it in, and then he goes the other end of the floor, post up. Look at him just move Kuso out of the way. It's like a bulldozer against the leaves in the yard. There's the foul. You can see him raise his forearm to get space to himself. The 2 times Santa Clara's raised their forearm, they got fouls. Parker's got a break.
Fargo will shoot it off target. He is playing with that left thigh contusion. It's heavily taped up. Mark Few told us he is wearing a football-style wrap on it tonight.
They made a concerted effort to go inside at halftime. I can tell you there was no retirement thought to Dick Davey at halftime. He said, we're going inside with that ball and inside some more.
Yeah, and that despite shooting the 3 so well, 6 out of 11. Pendergraft batting that one out of play. Pendergraft argues it was off of Doherty, but no one's going to listen. Few says the same thing. Mark Few very animated on the side. He said definitely deflected off Santa Clara.
I thought he was trying to emulate Bull Ryan doing that handball the other night.
Bull's the only one who does the handball. As far as we know, as Anglais is fouled, with that shot clock winding all the way down to 2 at the point of the personal foul. That was Pargo's second. So it'll be Brody Anglais to the line. He had 3 steals, and it seemed like every one of them big against St. Mary's last night. Also had 4 assists in the semifinal. Hinkie coming back on. Good shooter for the Broncos. And Bryant to get a breather.
A much-needed rest. And again, he times it wisely with 47 seconds to go to the TV timeout.
Anglais rolls in the foul shot. It's a 4-point game. Anglais' first point of the game. Remember, we told you the backcourt was having a devil of a time getting off shots or hitting shots in the first half. They were combined 1 for 10.
Bolden post up. He really invites contact. He thrives on it.
Bolden in the paint, alters the shot, tips up his own miss, got another tip, another effort, and that one goes.
4 efforts alone by him. What an effort. Way to stay with the play.
Getting up and down and up and down. Gonzaga by 6.
Put the heartometer on that one, I want to tell you.
Mallon guarding Doherty, trying to stay with him. Under 12 minutes to go in this contest. The championship of the West Coast Conference. Hankey just in, missing. And a whistle will go against Santa Clara. A foul and a rebound against Joey Kemp. Golden, look at this effort. 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and finally it goes. Well, here are the tickets already punched. The automatic tournament bids. Penn, Winthrop, Davidson, Belmont, Eastern Kentucky, Creighton, and VCU. And we'll have another one here out west. The West Coast Conference Tournament Championship. The winner of this one with the automatic berth. Dick Davey trying to get the Broncos of Santa Clara to the big dance. Gonzaga's Mark Few trying to take his team to the NCAA tournament for the 9th consecutive season.
And the best thing about that chart is Creighton was going to go anyway. They beat the champion Southern Illinois, but they were going to get an invite. So far, there's nobody knocking out a Syracuse-like team in the tournament there.
Bolden held and fouled as they went for the entry pass into the freshman. Doherty with the personal foul, and that'll be his first. And the third team foul on the Broncos. Mark Few won his 200th game earlier this season, the 3rd fastest ever in Division I history. And a tremendous run here on the line. It'll go in the other direction on the turnover. 11.5 minutes remaining here. And for Santa Clara, Rick, what do they have to do here down the stretch?
They've got to get John Bryant to park those size 18s in the paint and get the ball to him, or it's going to be their last rodeo.
Last rodeo for the Broncos. They don't want to hear that.
When he gets that ball in that paint.
Hankey flips it up. Harassed defensively. Bolden's pass is tipped but not stolen. Tipped away there by Joey Kemp, who was a big feel-good story last season for Santa Clara. He walked on in his senior year after a walk-on tryout game in which he wasn't actually trying out. He was just helping out. The coaches saw him. They loved him. Started 5 games last year. And, in fact, in his final game of the West Coast Conference Tournament, scored 21 points. And another one. So we got a lot of them here in the second half.
Speaking of walk-on, Scott Doherty's a walk-on. They gave a scholarship, too, and I would give my walk-on of the year award to a kid at Duke, Joe Paliuka. I saw his inspirational speech in the locker room at Duke to rally the troops after an early season loss, saying we need to adhere what coach is saying, and we want him to be demanding and tough on us. How about to empower a walk-on, the only senior in the Duke squad this year, to take that kind of leadership role? I thought that was special.
Hankey with the foul for Santa Clara. Mallon hits the bench for Gonzaga. And here's Raivio with 20 points. Tops on the court. Pendergraph back to the start.
It's in his spot. Oh, what a recovery by Dennison.
Dennison
recovery.
Seals him. And on timeout Gonzaga so they wouldn't give it up.
That was unbelievable the way Dennison recovered that with his quick feet. I really enjoyed, there he is, the young guy right there who's ambidextrous around the basket and a tough warrior and a great defender for his size.
The Child Center in Portland, a little gym, a big game. Gonzaga on top by 6 over Santa Clara in the WCC Championship. You love the recovery defense, coach, of Sean Dennison moments ago.
Watch Dennison jump out here and level that dribble off, give his man a chance to recover. Now he gets back, retreats to the line of the ball, keeps his feet moving, keeps his hands up, and he causes Pendergraph to not only get a pick and pop shot, but forces him to call a timeout. That was a clinic on how to help and recover. But Raivio, you always want to come off a pick with at least 2 dribbles to get spacing. Nothing good happens when you take 1 dribble. Raivio needed to stretch that Dennison a little bit more.
Gonzaga has to get off a shot here in 4 seconds. Raivio the man. And a rebound by Kemp of Santa Clara. So they're down 6 with the ball here. Trying to play their way into the NCAA tournament. An automatic bid to the big dance in the offing tonight.
Angry had Dennison on the high-low there and missed him.
Bolden's drive. He's sealed off. Pargo outside. Do you see any lingering effects of the thigh injury for Pargo?
No, geez, I hope whatever doctor's administering to him, I want to take care of me.
Here's his jump shot. Short, though.
He's a challenge shooter. He's a great ball handler, terrific defender, post-up player, long rebounder, captain, and pushes it in transition.
Hit from Chicago, showing off some of his toughness the last 24 hours. That's Crusoe fouling Bryant. We go back to last night, and Jeremy Pargo, when he got nicked up, he took a knee to that quad, that left thigh on that play.
And still had the presence of mind to keep the ball in play. He is a warrior.
He did have to hobble off for a short while. Not very long, though.
Nothing short of an amputation would have kept that kid out of these last 2 games.
And was in the starting lineup tonight for Gonzaga.
Now they're trying to go high-low here.
Kemp, quick step. Missed the lay-in, though. Boy, terrific move. Could not finish it. Pargo to Bolden. What a break.
It's a clinic. Filling 3 lanes, getting the ball out. Ball movement, spacing.
Dennison left alone at the foul line. Drops in 2.
Big basket there. The game could have gotten away from him. They've got to get a stop before this timeout.
Doherty will come back onto the court here now for Dick Davey. One of his top shooters, having a good night with 14. And he wants him back on the floor. Labia nearly stolen away by Kemp. Here's Pargo to fire it. He's short again. So he's
Look at
missed his
Dennison run here.
Dennison all the way down the other end, and a foul. He can't convert it. Bolden with the personal, but Dennison will go to the line here. And Santa Clara has grabbed the momentum. Time at this moment for the Sports Center 30 at 30 update.
All right, guys, we'll start in the NBA, where Ron Artest has been excused from the Kings indefinitely following his arrest on a domestic violence charge. Also checking in on some other news from outside of college basketball. Tyler Hansbrough, or actually in college basketball, I should say, Tyler Hansbrough likely to play in the ACC tournament after suffering a broken nose. He might need a mask to do so. More on these stories on SportsCenter after the game, ESPN News Hall.
And back to Sean Dennison running for Dick Davey.
Take a look at this effort. Watch him stretch it out and just flat out run. And then makes that catch, just about finish the play. When you said before, NBA players, I'll tell you something. Somebody puts that kid in the developmental league and they work with him and get some weight on him, he can be a career NBA player. There are no bigs at the next level.
Makes 60% of his shots. One of 9 seniors or juniors on this roster for Santa Clara. Almost in a spot where they've got to win now. Downs outside that arc. Mallon brought out Bryant to defend him. Livio shoots, quick release, not this time. Carousel trying to dump in for Bryant, and Aaron toss. Here's Pargo. He slams it down.
His leg looked good to me there.
Yep. Looked just fine. The hops are good. 54-47. Gonzaga opens up a healthy advantage here.
Nothing manages the pain like success.
Dennison wants to work on Pendergraft. Rebound tip Bryant. Couldn't convert it. Pendergraft tied up by Parasol. Possession arrow will stay right here on this end. But on the other end, moments ago, on the run out, Jeremy Pargo. Apparently that leg is just fine. 54-47, Gonzaga.
Over on ESPN2.
Here in the second half in Portland, we have 7:39 remaining. Gonzaga on top of Santa Clara, 54-47. Head coach Dick Davey retiring when his season does end after 15 years as the head coach at Santa Clara. Hoping and praying it does not come to an end tonight, at least in terms of play in the West Coast Conference. Trying to recover here from a 7-point deficit The NCAA automatic tournament bid on the line here tonight. Bryant with the foul, and he'll go to the line. Big John Bryant drawing the contact from Mallon with 7:27 to go.
It's a simple formula. You want to go inside to the big. And look at his poise. He plays low, slow, under control. He drew that double team from Pargo, but he's ready to pass in case Pargo came all the way.
From time to time, looking real smooth on his foul shots. Only 65% shooter from the stripe.
I'm just shocked right here. If I could take this kid or Aaron Gray, I'd take this kid.
You would take John Bryant over Aaron Gray.
Yes, I would.
Of Pitt.
And I'd get Pat Riley to get him in shape. Riley's the best in the game. I'd wanting to go out with me for some fried chicken or something.
That is a bit of a stunner. Here's Mallon with a catch and shoot. Clanging off the back iron.
Oh!
And hitting the deck is Doherty after trying to rip away the rebound.
Take a look at this fight for the rebound. I think these kids don't realize that attorney bursts on the line.
As Doherty hit with the personal foul.
I couldn't see it.
Nor could I. But the Gonzaga faithful loved it.
Dick Davies certainly puzzled by it as well. Both these coaches have done a nice job of leaving the refs alone in a big game.
Well, it certainly has had a championship feel. The tournament final of the West Coast Conference.
Another flex. Here's the guy who got to cool down. 20 already tonight, Radio.
It's been a little while for him, though. Here's Pargo, and he's fouling the act of shooting a three. So he'll go to the line 3 times. Foul number 3 on Danny Parasol.
And Parasol did foul him. He got a hand up on a shooter, and I don't know why he flies out of control here. And what his expectation is, the referee. Sonny's got to call that foul when you body into him. Pargo's not that good of a shooter anyway. You got to know who you're closing to, Dave. Who you're building out at. You want to cushion him. He's a driver. He hasn't hit an outside shot tonight.
And Parasol, a very smart player, not a smart play. Pargo with only 6 points. That one will fall in, touching a lot of rim.
The priest was saying a Hail Mary on the bench to that baby drop. Appealing to Bing Crosby, somewhere up in heaven, the most famous Gonzaga alum. Not John Stockton. Had more gold records than Elvis, by the way.
You are a wealth of pop culture. I had no idea.
My mom loved Bing Crosby.
Oh, me too. White Christmas, my favorite. 56-50. Pull up Pop Doherty. Yes, as he answers for the Broncos.
Wonderfully executed by the former walk-on, given a scholarship for his improved skills shown right there.
Well, he had 23 during the season in the victory over Gonzaga. These two teams split over the winter. Their conference regular season meetings.
They're running the flex now. Downs can't post up. He doesn't realize he's got Bryant behind him, not to mention his own man.
So the shot clock
Here
at 10.
comes the pick and pop.
Raiville off that pick. Fires. Yes. That's his first basket in some time, but he has 22.
They made him earn it. They couldn't have defended better. Credit Raiville was shooting very well with a hand in his face.
Doherty, another answer? No. Pendergraft with the board. Pargo wants to run. Look at that zip pass to Kuso underneath, but it's Bryant to defend. He blocked the shot. Boy, he was defiant.
And never left his feet to do it. He did not leave the ground.
Set that jaw, and he said, no way. 5:20 to go.
The amazing thing is Bryant's recuperative power to that break. He's so light on his feet. He strides it out well. He lost some poundage, got a haircut. Who knows how much that's holding.
Ang Lee dumping it inside Dennison, and the block by Kuso.
Excellent block.
Outstanding play. So the defense on both sides ramped up.
He so relishes his role. He runs the floor, he rebounds, and he blocks shots. That's what his destination is.
Gonzaga by 6 with the ball. Raiville off the fake.
Pick and pop.
It's Pendergraft. On target again.
Same spot he put the nail in the coffin last night at St. Mary.
Nobody in this tournament has had an answer for that play by Gonzaga. Timeout, Santa Clara.
And did you notice that time Ravio took 2 dribbles, and that gave more separation, and it caused Dennison to hang with him a little bit longer, therefore creating the spacing. We'll take a look at this pick and pop. The last play coming up right now. Notice the separation. Ravio's got it. Pendergrass sets a pick. 1 dribble, 2 dribbles. See how he drags Dennison with him? Before, when Dennison recovered, it was after 1 dribble, and 1 dribble, Dave, can make all the difference in the world.
Championship week in women's college basketball on ESPN2 continues Tuesday night at 7 Eastern, the Women's Big East Championship. That'll be from the Hartford Civic Center. The Yukon Huskies taking on number 21 Rutgers. And, of course, ESPN is the exclusive home of the Women's NCAA Championship. Coach Rick Majerus, Dave O'Brien with you, along with Derek Ravio. It's been his show tonight with 22 points, but Pendergrass had chipped in with 10. And also in double figures scoring Matt Bolden with 11, although he's in foul trouble right now. Doherty 16 for Santa Clara, and Dennison with 10, the only 2 men in double digits. They need one of them to step up here in the last 4:22. Parasol looking for someone to move here. Finds Bryant. Backing in on Cuso. Off the fake, and Cuso commits the foul. Jeannie Davy, obviously not happy at the moment, and realizing that her husband's team is in a lot of trouble with 4:10 to play.
They also serve only watch and wait. Tell you her heart's right it is. Look at Dick out there coaching up a storm. He is such a good instructor, a terrific teacher, had a wonderful mentor in the great Carol Williams.
Many believe the way he has been handled, forced out as the head coach, has left a sour taste in the mouths of folks in the West Coast Conference. He's such a popular guy and a highly respected coach. Not his decision, although he refuses to comment on that end of it. All he has said in recent days is, hey, if anybody wants a 64-year-old head coach, I'd think about signing on someplace else. He's also made a comment, I kind of wish that the decision was mine to coach another year or 2, but on the other hand, I've had 30 wonderful years and no ill will for me towards Santa Clara. Quick whistle here. And a foul against the Broncos with 3:55 to go. Down the stretch we come. Gonzaga trying to go back to the NCAA tournament yet again.
Gonzaga with a 10-0 run. It's a 2-point game, guys.
And back in Portland, Gonzaga trying to bounce back into the NCAA tournament. A 61-54 lead, 7-point advantage here with Ravio at the line. And for the senior from Vancouver, a big night. He has 22 points, also 4 assists, and almost never misses a foul shot. He is the best in the country at shooting free throws. Missed his 6 of them all year, attempting 134.
Has legitimately started up in a big game here. Tell you what, you're going to yellow line his statistics sheet tonight in absolutely every category. 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio.
The entry to Bryant. Turning around. Fades away. Missed everything. Great defense by Mallon on Bryant. And a big stop there for Gonzaga, leading it 63-54.
Bryant shaking his head, talking to himself, and putting his hands on his knees. Now he's got to go out and try to play Mallon. They're running that flex. They just grind it.
Pendergrass was wide open. They didn't see him. Now he'll pop out.
Down screen space. Baseline cut. Down screen.
It's Downs. It's going to be out off of Santa Clara. Just 6 seconds on the shot clock here.
Zags are good on end outs. They work on them. They cultivate them. A lot of teams don't pay attention to them.
Downs off the dribble. Draws the foul from Bryant. And that was just 3 on the shot clock.
Downs is so good going in either direction.
He's taken a lot of shots tonight. 13 attempts for Micah Downs. He's 3 out of 13.
Scores mentality, but backs it up by being able to take it in either direction off the bounce. He's got the long ball. He's a good foul shooter.
He's also really been good on the glass tonight with 9 rebounds. Joey Kemp back on, a 3-point shooter, top drawer shooter, and they need some of that.
Pendergraph, Mellon throw their bodies in there. They may not get it, but they keep it alive, and then he picks off that low-hanging fruit coming off the rim.
It's a 10-point lead for the Zags. The dominant team in this conference for so many years. They brought a lot of fans, making a lot of noise tonight. Bryant doubled up. Ang Lee, the rainbow 3. Big shot there for the Broncos. They desperately needed that, Rick.
They wouldn't be in the game without that one. Now they need to stop. The Zags don't necessarily run a lot of time. They're grinding this flex out.
That was Micah Downs going down.
And Bryant just bowled over him there.
Bryant with the personal. Championship week on ESPN continues Wednesday. 2 first-round Big East Championship games from the Garden. It's Villanova and DePaul first at noon, and then UConn against Syracuse. Look out for that Blue Demon team. They have the ability to beat Villanova. Big East Championship. Downs to the line again.
Sammy Mejia goes home to New York. The vaunted DePaul senior.
Gonzaga preparing to go back to the NCAA tournament, but Santa Clara still has plenty to say about it. In and out by Downs. He made 1 and 2. Dennison swings it inside. Bryant commanding the ball. Kuso with another foul. Trying to shut him down, and Bryant is back to the line. We've talked about it tonight, Rick, the starting guards for both sides. Let's compare them. Look at the difference between Pargo and Raivio in terms of points.
And Raivio has just had a phenomenal night. And selfishly so, with a number of assists, he's getting a big hand here from the crowd. They're not taking him out thinking they won. They just want to give him a little bit of a rest, I think. The Zags, this is a home court. The faithful here, they showed up 4,000 or 5,000 strong. Would that be right, Dave? Or?
I think it's probably in the neighborhood. Kuso just fouled out, by the way, for Gonzaga. But you can see them in their Gonzaga red and blue, the Bulldog colors. Got a great shot of Mark Few coming in with his little boy here tonight, coming off the team bus. Little son holding dad's hand.
Pargo did what he needed to. He pushed tempo. He moved the ball. And he did a nice job with defensive pressure on passing the post. Raivio had a sensational night.
Being a coach, as we've shown you with Jeannie and Dick Davey, it's a family affair, and it certainly is for the Few family as well. Mark's son. 65-59. Coach's work is not done yet as Bryant goes to the bench for Santa Clara.
Playing small in this possession.
Reach-in foul by Doherty on Bolden, who is back on the court, although he has 4 fouls as well.
And he was told to do that intentionally. They want to put Bolden on the line.
Santa Clara foul, number 12, Scott Doherty.
68% from the line in league play.
That's Bolden at the line for the Bulldogs.
So it's Bolden to shoot 11 points tonight. His first free throw of the evening comes with 2:18 left. Bryant's back on, and Henke to the bench.
Substituting offense, defense now. It's an interesting call to foul Bolden there at a 70% shooter almost.
Pretty cool there at the line. 67-59. And Kemp, the three-point man, back on the floor for the Broncos.
His body, his psychological maturity, and his poise belie his years. Bolden plays like a junior.
Bryant wants the ball here. He gets it. Turning to his left. Excellent look. Pendergraph with the rebound, and Bryant fouls him. Pendergraft firing off an elbow there, as it has gotten to be pretty bruising here down the stretch.
That looked like the Big Ten on last Saturday when we had Marquette. Pardon me, when we had Wisconsin and Michigan State.
Well, Rick, John Bryant has just fouled out. So that's it for the big fella. 13 points tonight, but he is done. It's kind of a tough call. Take a look at this. Looking to tie up, and he is charged with a foul. Not so sure about that one.
Yeah, me either.
But Pendergraft is finished. I should say Bryant is finished, and Pendergraft is going to the line. And that inevitably may be where Gonzaga wins it and takes home another West Coast Conference tournament title. In and outs on the second one.
Rabbio was a difference maker if the Zags win tonight. That's an unbelievable line he's had. 8 for 12.
Yep, 24 points. Minute 45 left here for Santa Clara. And Lee. Hankey. And he'll go to the line as well. He had possession there. He tapped it up and in.
Talk about strength and toughness here. They're holding on to his left arm. He's up there with his right arm, tipping this in. Look at him. They're holding that other arm down.
Pendergraft with the foul. Chance for a three-point play now for Mitch Hankey, and he does convert. This one is far from over. A 6-point game. Parasol back on.
Now, once again, offensive, defensive substitutions. Trying to get a smaller, quicker lineup in here. Up by 6. 1:39 left, and you got guys in who can hit the 3-ball.
Bolden, they fouled him the last time. Parasol will do it again. Although he can't believe a foul was called on that
And
play.
Dick Davey can't believe it either.
A couple of these calls here have been ticky-tack. That's 4 on Parasol.
Well, these are what we call phantom calls in the business here. Parasol's up. No, I don't see. There wasn't even any contact.
Now maybe he grazed the top of the head of Matt Bolden there, but hardly enough for a foul. So Bolden to the stripe again. Gonzaga tonight, 15 out of 21 at the line. And the miss by Bolden.
Now the last 4, they've only hit 1 out of 2.
Here's Parasol launching. That rims out. Kemp fouled. A shove there. He'll be shooting with a minute 24 to go. And Santa Clara continues to bang, continues to fight, and scrap in this championship game.
If they're down 5 and they hit 2 free throws here with 1:24 left, I think they want to press, get 1 trap in. Well, that was all the if was based on 2 free throws. So much at stake here. The automatic berth, we're going to dance.
Kemp got 1 of 2. 69-63, more pressure here and another foul. Wrong guy to hit though, and it's Riley will be going to the line. Coming up next, we've got SportsCenter. So stay right where you are. Mark Few and the Bulldogs want to go dancing again. Maybe they locked up that NCAA bid last night, but for sure, the automatic berth goes to Gonzaga. Should they win this thing, 1:23 to play.
When you look at the 2 teams, here's the story. Matt Bolden could have gone anywhere. Notre Dame, the entire Big 12, most of Pac-10. Fargo, national recruit. Michael Downs went to Kansas. That's how good he was. Scott Doherty is a walk-on who was given a scholarship. Danny Parasol transferred from Eastern Washington. And I think they found John Bryant in his hobby fishing on the dock of the bay.
They found a Jim North.
Dick Davies to be commended for the great job he's done with this group of players.
Timeout. Davie and Santa Clara, 71-65. Rabbio now at 26 points, by the way. And a big effort for the senior. 1:15 left here as Santa Clara takes the timeout. West Coast Conference tournament champ since 2000. Only one team has spoiled the run for Gonzaga. And it was San Diego back in 2003.
Absent Highfield, Mark Few's done an excellent job himself of rallying the troops here, getting different scoring. 1:15 left, what you got to do right now if you're Santa Clara, you got to try everything you can do to get a turnover on this inbounds pass, make one trap, rotate up for one steal, and then foul, and pray to God that you're not putting Rivio on the line.
Gonzaga looking for a 9th consecutive trip to the NCAA tournament. Right now tied for 8th longest among schools. Mark Few continues to be the dominant figure in this conference.
All their best ball shooters and ball handlers in. They center field it. Parasol's a free safety there.
Bolden out to Pargo. Boy,
Yes, Paul, that's intentional.
Yep, certainly is. Kemp by no means was going for the ball.
Well, especially when he was going to grab the shirt. Excellent call. They go long. Look at Bolden unpressured because Parasol was center fielding, and that's Parasol's responsibility. He was covering the inbounder. He should have been back. You had to go for the ball. Your point was well taken, Dave.
Well, he tried to make it appear as if he did, but they were not buying it. I swear you were the man in the huddle drawing up that play. Pargo misfiring there, but it's 72-65 Gonzaga.
Let me take a minute to reflect on the great coaching career of Dick Davey. 15 years alongside Carol Williams, 15 years on his own, 30 years at Santa Clara. He took that vow of poverty that so many Catholic schools do. Only the team priest sitting on the end of the bench with no money, taking vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. That's no money, no honey, and a boss has suffered greater. Davey is a consummate coach. He's a coach's coach. The kids love him. They really rallied around him. They wanted to win this for him. He's a teacher of the game extraordinaire. He's a gentleman. He's an ambassador for basketball.
But he's also out of a job when the season ends, and it may be ending tonight. Perhaps there's an NIT bid.
But put his one head out there, Dave. What you said the other night. He's 64 and
he still wants to coach. Long shot by Kemp. He's going to rattle in, and Davey will take the timeout. Well, 1 minute to play here, and it's a 5-point game.
I hope I've got egg on my face and offered that testimony too soon. And that's not, I'm got to tell you, my heartstrings tug to Dick Davey. You know, I like Mark Few. He runs a class program, recruiter extraordinaire. He's done a great job with the adversity that he's faced. Losing Highfelt, their best inside post presence, their best rebounder, maybe their best athlete.
Gonzaga trying to move on without Highfelt as we reset here. Few still has 3 timeouts and the possession arrow. And Santa Clara down to 1 timeout.
See, now watch. They're probably not going to cover the inbounder again. And it was Danny Parasol not covering the inbounder last time. He was covering Bolden, so he should have picked up Pargo when he went long.
Yep, and they do not cover Bolden.
No, now Parasol's a safety again.
Downs back to Bolden. They'll run at him. No foul there. Rivio trying to get up.
He's out of bounds.
He wanted a timeout and he didn't get it. A turnover instead as he was out. Now watch the referee. He actually got hit. He didn't see it.
He misses it. Comes up.
Timeout Gonzaga. Santa Clara still hanging around as we go to the studio. And Reese Davis. Well, Santa Clara will have the ball after the turnover by Rivio. One of the few mistakes he's made in this one. Let's take one more look. Referee out of position on this one. You see, he got bumped, so he never saw. Off the inbound. Great block there by Downs. Kemp fires fires it up. Air ball. Net.
Oh, he rushed it. Way out of his range. What a terrific defensive job by Gonzaga to scramble and get out to that ball in the corner.
Bolden. Pendergraft.
They got a guy wide open under the basket
It's
here.
Downs. Downs. Stuffs it. And that should just about do it here. The Gonzaga faithful start their celebration. Downs fighting for the rebound. He's tied up and fouled with 28 seconds left.
The Zags earned it. They deserve it. Throw this resume sheet. Deep six it.
With a victory, the Bulldogs will finish at least this point of their season at 23-10. And with the schedule they played, just an absolute brutal schedule out of the conference. Gonzaga was probably going to go to the tournament anyway after the win last night, but this would be the automatic bid of the NCAA Big Dance. In and out by Downs. 7-point lead, 24 seconds left. Taken away by Pendergraft. Rivio is fouled.
I love this league. So competitive, committed to the student athlete. It's a coach's league. Exemplary teachers. Kids play really hard.
And the other side of the story, Jeannie Davy and Dick Davy coming to the end of the line at Santa Clara. Rivio with 27 points. Downs also had himself a double-double tonight with 12 points and 10 rebounds so far. Ang Lee, 10 seconds left. Swatted away by Downs. And the 28 points for Rivio, by the way, a season high for Mark Few and Gonzaga. We might get a smile out of Few by the end of the night. So this will do it. Gonzaga is going dancing again. The Gonzaga Bulldogs have won it, the 4th straight WCC title, 8 in the last 9 years, and with that, the automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. Gonzaga continues to roll on despite a very challenging season and a big loss of Josh Heidfeld. They win the WCC tournament just as they won the regular season conference title. And the beat goes on for the Bulldogs.
Congratulations to the Zags. They did a great job of banding together. They took a difficult circumstance and turned a problem into an opportunity. They fought through the adversity of missing their big guy. And I got to take my hat off to Rivio. He has really improved throughout the course of the season. I had him early. Right away. Such a tough competitor in every single facet of play. Rivio hit big shots tonight.
Yep, 28 points, 10 for 10 at the line. Coach, enjoyed it. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Dave. Great season for you and I.
Our final score, Gonzaga is 77, Santa Clara 68. Sports Center is coming up next. For more on this game, we invite you to join us on ESPN News for the post-game extra. For Coach Rick Majerus, I'm Dave O'Brien as we say goodnight from Portland. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Good night, everybody.